On May 1st, 1169, a Norman army under the leadership of Robert Fitzstephen laid siege to the Viking town of Wexford. It took only 2 days before they could claim it as their own. In order to protect the property they had fought so hard to win, they began to build a stone wall around it. This work was to take them 50 to 100 years to accomplish. Once completed, the result was a wall 3/4 of a mile long, 2/3 of which is still standing to this day. It can be seen snaking its way through streets and gardens of this modern town, enclosing the narrow medieval streets where their descendants with names such as Devereux, Sinnott, Furlong, Lacey, Hoare, Roach and many more still live and work today. The Norman siege of Wexford was almost bloodless, but it was a somewhat different scene the next time the town was surrounded by a foreign enemy. The impressive wall of Wexford with its surrounding trench and 7 gates firmly shut was the sight which the Cromwellian army were confronted with when they camped outside the town in rain and mud, waiting patiently for negotiations to end. This time the siege took a total of 10 days until they successfully broke into the castle outside the walls, breaching the southern gate. The carnage that followed still remains in the history of Wexford as one of its darkest and most disturbing times. Of the 7 gates in Wexford town, there is only one which still remains. In the 18th century, the others were taken down in order for traffic to go through more easily. However, they were hastily re-erected in 1798 to keep out the rebels who were camping just outside the town walls. This time the town was handed over by terrified loyalists as the rebels massed through the gate at John's Gate Street and took the town, only to lose it again 3 weeks later to the Crown forces of General Lake. In the 1850s, the gates were taken down completely. The remaining gate, known as Selsker Gate, was kept because a main road out of the town did not run through it. This gate clearly shows the distinct features of all town gates. A small tower house stands above it, which is where the guards would have lived. Its defences include a murdering hole, just over the arch, where boiling water, sand rocks or indeed anything could be rained down on unwanted visitors. Another can be found halfway through the tunnel, and one more on the walls situated on the inside of the town. Inside the tunnel, walled cells could be found, where those attempting to smuggle goods into the town could be detained. Wexford's wall has 2 types of watchtowers. There are 2 round ones, which are of a later date than the square one located in Row Street churchyard. The Normans serving on the Crusades had paid attention to the round towers in Europe and realised they were easier to defend. Arrow loops and musket loops are still visible in these towers. In the 1850s, a flood washed part of the southern end of the wall away, as it was situated on unstable ground between 2 rivers that flowed under the wall. Richard Devereux completed the wall in the year 1300. On Selsker Gate he placed the words, "Unless the Lord keepeth the city, the watchman watcheth in vain."